glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us at this time. The chair is empty. They are not here. The American flag reminds us that many of them may never return and have paid the supreme sacrifice to ensure our freedom. Let us pray to the Supreme Commander that all of our comrades will soon be back within our ranks. Let us remember and never forget their sacrifice.
Bow our heads in thankfulness for the victories thou hast granted us, to us and those people who have united with us to stamp out the evils of aggression, intolerance, and greed. We beseech thee to bring the blessings of understanding to the families and friends in this and other lands of those who have given their lives that men might be free.
We are commemorating the service of veterans of all wars. We remember how men and women set aside their civilian pursuits to serve their nation's cause, defending the freedom of mankind and preserving our precious American heritage. With our minds and our hearts, as well as our bodies, we recognize service to our country, and her cause does not end with the termination of military service. We continue our endeavors in behalf of an honorable world peace with a feeling of profound gratitude to God and to the men and women who gave their lives as their part of the cost of this noblest of causes. Out of blood and sweat, we learned of purpose, sacrifice, tolerance, bravery, and discipline. These are solid foundations, stones upon which a great nation is built. In our continuing quest for an honorable world peace, we must cultivate these virtues.
In waging war, we have moved forward with the unity of purpose which made us strong, forgetting pettiness, egotism, and pride. Our hearts beat in tune with those in other nations fighting for freedom and the dignity and opportunity of mankind. In our constant quest for honorable world peace, there is a need for unity of purpose, and we truly are to move towards the brighter tomorrow.
Let us honor the heroes of science who alleviate human suffering and carry greater heights to the standards of civilization.
In tolerance, there is progress toward a better and a happier world.
Under our system of government, we may change the laws by majority rule. We may persuade our neighbors to new theories or new courses. We may advocate in free elections the choice of veterans or plans. As good citizens, we follow the choice of the majority, whether that choice be the individuals or not. This is the virtue of discipline, which must be ours in peace. This is a lesson we must learn at home, in school, on the playing fields, in organizations, in the community, and the nation. It is a lesson of voluntary obedience to the decisions of the majority. We must not be mindful either of the conclusions of other peoples with whom we have joined in the quest for an honorable world peace. This is a higher order of disciplines.
Let's respect them for their courage. They're ready to do what's right to keep America safe, so we can sleep better at night.
No, he won't be mourned by many, just his children and his wife, for he lived an ordinary, very quiet sort of life. He held a job and raised a family, quietly going on his way, and the world won't note his passing, though a veteran died today. When politicians leave this earth, their bodies lie in state, while thousands note their passing and proclaim that they were great. Papers tell of their life stories from the time that they were young, but the passing of a veteran goes unnoticed and unsung. It is the greatest contribution to the welfare of our land, some jerk who breaks his promise and cons his fellow man, or the ordinary fellow who in times of war and strife goes off to serve his country and offers up his life. The politician's stipend and the style in which he lives are sometimes disproportionate to the service he gives, while the ordinary veteran who offered up his all is paid off with a medal and perhaps a pension small. It's so easy to forget them, for it is so long ago that our Bobs and Jims and Johnnies went to battle, but we know it was not the politicians with their compromise employees who won for us the freedom that our country now enjoys. Should you find yourself in danger with your enemies in hand, would you really want some cop-out with this very waffling stand? Or would you want a veteran who has sworn to defend his home, his kin, and country, and would fight until the end? He was just a common veteran, and his ranks are growing thin, but his presence should remind us we may need his likes again. For when countries are in conflict, and then we find the military's part is to clean up all the troubles that the politicians start. If we cannot do him honor while he's here to hear the praise, then at least give him homage at the ending of his days. Perhaps just a simple headline in the paper that might say, "Our country is in mourning, for a veteran died today."
Neither one of those came home. So this little town gave a lot through every war, and we can be very proud of all that we do. And I want to say one last thing in connection with the people that are living, and that's in this room and around the country. It's wonderful to see the support that the Legion, the Sons, the Riders, and the Auxiliary are giving to this open door mission. They are the largest homeless veteran shelter in the state of Vermont. And I think we served 44, 45 last year. It's now up to 61 that they have in-house that are veterans and they're homeless. And some people say, well, they could get a job, they could do this. No. Many of them can't. They can't afford an apartment. They can't hold a job. They need our support. And I think if this is going to get done, it's got to be our units, the people in the community. Don't be afraid and say, oh, I can't do anything. Yes, you can. You can clean out your closet. You can clean out your cupboards. And they have a thrift store up there. They would gladly take good, used furniture, clothing, that sort of thing. And they would appreciate it.
in defense of the Republic. To the military.
That if it had not been for Washington's victories at Trenton and Princeton, we'd be singing God Save the Queen.
Say, can you see?